Welcome back to my channel, and we're going to be talking about my spiritual people. And I am spiritual as well. So there's spiritual people that aren't spiritual anymore, and I'm pretty sure I'm aware of the spiritual people community. They fell off being vegan and they think crystals are lame. I mean, I don't know how they use it. Like, it's no point of crystals basically, or it's not real. It's like just rocks. And I understand some of them went Christians. I mean, I have no against any type of Christian or whatever community. I love Christians. Like, the book of any religion is like really amazing. What else I can say? It's really hot up here, and I got a freaking suntan. I don't know if y'all can see the suntan, but I don't know. But y'all, it's a good day outside. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So like the spiritual community, they think that you can't really enjoy luxury things or have a luxury finer things in life, and you just got to be this humble person that lives in the forest and you got to live off the resources, and you're dang near kumbaya all day. And I'm just sitting here like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. When back in our day, like back in our ancestor days, when they had big buildings and all the agricultures, y'all know what I'm talking about, buildings and sculptures and all those things that they made, and all of a sudden we just know how to make hunts only. I don't think that's ours, and that's the new generation, which is aka the people that just got here. And I don't want to go down in details about that, but yeah, before the 1400s, there was very good buildings, and these things were carried down very, very recently. It wasn't even that long ago. It was no BC, no AC, no A, B, C, D, Z, W, I don't know. It's not all the way back there either. They make it seem like it's been that long. We haven't even been that long since we have those big old ancient buildings, and our world had changed dramatically, drastically, rapidly. Okay. So we'll go back to an ancestor time that we did have crystals, which is like there was like bigger crystals, like crystals under the tree. It was like a lot, like not the crystals we see that we just take it inside the house and put around the house, but like crystals like literally you could see growing out the ground, just radiating and pulsating, and you could just feel the energy. The world was so different. We had unicorns, but those people say is delusional. However, to bring back to the point, we had like like glass. We had everything glass. Now we got packets of plates and spoons. That's materialistic too. Like if you think about how much quality our grandparents, even recent grandparents, used to be, and they had culture in their house. They had quality cars, which is like more metal, like you don't really see back then. They had like a lot of car. Of course there was like less people owning cars, but like my point is that you don't see that many car crashes where they died, because they actually had like more of a steady, more of a less plastic cars. Now cars are made out of plastic, aka soy. You get that new car smell. It's like made out of freaking plastic and metal, of course, but it's majority plastic to be cheaper, so you can pay more. You're probably paying like the engine inside of it and like the metal, other things to keep the car running, but it's not as much as quality like how our ancestors used to have. And also like that culture, they have colors now, just getting more bland and blah blah blah. Now we will be called luxury materialistic things, and I don't look at it like that. I look at it as quality things, because our ancestors used, like you see in Jesus' time, and I don't believe they wore like worn down clothes. They wore like linen clothing, wool clothing, 100% cotton, organic clothing that higher their frequency, hemp, it don't matter, whatever clothing they wear, that was uplifting their energy force on their body. So it's like everything came down to that molecular scale. What am I saying? And like for the shoes, of course they like want like very like they barely wear any shoes because they want to be connected to the ground. And we didn't have roads as much as we have roads now. So back then they was pretty much walking on grass, and it wasn't as much deserts, because I can go down details about deserts too. And what is deserts, like what is deserts now is like broken down trees that have been sawdusted and it turned into a desert because it was a huge amount of forest and a lot of water, and the ground mass was so much taller. We lost like 10 times more of the grass, that the ground that we needed it. Okay. So the world we used to live in is not the world we used to live in. So going back to materialistic, this world was such a materialistic, okay? And I studied a lot about, let me get this word right, Arctic structure. Yeah, please help me. I'm trying to articulate the word, but I can't remember how to spell it anymore. I'm trying to pronounce it, but I can't spell it. So I'm talking about buildings, how they articulate it in detailed form with science, and how they build it and with the math and stuff, and all the big rocks. And when you look at those buildings, when you travel around the world, especially European countries and Russian countries, you see those beautiful, and the Gothic church ones too. You can see how detailed it is. That's materialistic. That's basically quality, you know. And even when you look at it in this 2021, of course you can't really look at things with quality, because what is quality? What buildings that have quality? You know, it's not a lot. It's gonna be all plain and boring and modest. Now you can really just flame on name brands, because they will, you know, advertise themselves as quality. Well, quality, this status and wealth. And I'm like, yeah, it could have been further from the truth, from the opposite what our ancestors used to live in. When you have quality and stuff, that's just normal. But when you have like normal, plain, that would be called disgusting and wouldn't even be near, you know. Okay, I thought that's what was coming over here. Okay, so being spiritual doesn't mean you should limit yourself from having greater things in life. And I feel like all spiritual people should be aware of that, because we wasn't living in trenches and hunts and just dang near ill. So all my spiritual people are not spiritual anymore, you know. You can still be spiritual. We are spiritual things. We are spiritual people in the beginning. We all are. We are born spiritual people, and we came to the physical world because we should experience physical things, okay? And there's nothing wrong by experiencing physical things as a spiritual person, because we experiencing a lot of physical things in this world, and especially our ancestors. But we didn't stay attached. We make sure that we knew that those things was temporary, and we can't bring those with us. However, we cherish those things. We have fun. We like to decorate it. We put colors and culture, and make sure that the land and the ecosystem correlates with it all together. And that's what I love about the history. When you really study it, is that these houses actually work with the earth. So like these windows doesn't exist, but when the windows were taken out, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's like there was no such thing as glass windows towards these buildings. And the only way the house stayed warm is like the type of wood or type of, I don't know what they was using, what else. And back then the world wasn't as cold back then. Like it wasn't as cold, but it was super hot, but it wasn't like hot where you can just die because it's excruciating heat. No, but it was like perfect for everybody to walk outside, and you're not always inside the building anyway. And it'd be like multiple people in one building, but in all rooms was big enough for everybody to sleep in. It wasn't small. Everybody had like equality. Each like buildings had like representative meetings in village and communities, and it's so amazing. Especially cities can hold 10 times more than a regular city we see today in the United States. And it's like very empowering, very eye-opening. You don't see that, you don't hear that, you don't even hear a lot of things about history because you just think that, you know, things are regular. And I'm here to say I know a lot, and I want to expose it as much as possible. So being materialistic is nothing wrong with that. And you know, I don't mind a woman being materialistic or a man, but you know, you can't be attached to it, I guess, because by the time you about to die, you at your last step, which you have to detach. That's the last thing when you're supposed to do before, you know, ascending, before you go. That's the last step, is detach. And if you're attached to it, especially like if you're attached, like I'm not ready to leave, you need to detach. That's the best way I can explain it, because that's what it is. That's the last step of any spiritual thing, especially when you're about to die, okay? If you believe or you don't. So just like Jesus said, give up everything and let me show you the way. And when you give up everything, you really gain a lot. You gain so much more. And plus more, the materialistic that you just gave up came back more, even more, 10 times more. You have to detach. Even Christians, Bibles teach you that. If your guys hate Christians so much, there's nothing wrong about being Christian. You can learn a lot. It's an actual guidance Bible. So I would definitely use it as like a guidance, but I wouldn't use it as like a religion. Dispute your negativity. I'm like, okay, relax. But there's nothing wrong with being spiritual or anything like that. And what else I should topic on? I don't know. That's it about that topic. There's nothing wrong about being in that level of, you know, you don't have to stay humble. I don't want to drive no hempy. I mean, I say hempy, but I'm going to call it hempy call, hoopy doopy call. Okay, I'm not being that. I deserve the finer things in life. And so do you too. You deserve the finer things in life as a spiritual person. You don't need to stay humble and be positive all the time. Come on. That's not reality. Just be you and be loving. Okay? Thank you for tuning in, and be you, my spiritual people, and the ones that are not, because they can't partake in that life because they spiritual. Be you. You deserve everything that comes your way. All positive. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.